About 1909. Never mind.
I need to turn that light on.
Look what I got.
Where is that? Is that a 17?
Yep. That's why I don't do YouTube videos. Yeah, that seems really nice. I haven't tested the camera. I'm going to go do that as soon as we're done here. Actually, let me see if I can show this to you. This is kind of cool. I'm assuming I'm going to be able to sign into this. Like, let's see if I can make it so you can actually see the screen. Yeah. Like, watch the great demo, Paul. Also, why I don't do. Okay, seriously.
You were just a beacon of technology.
Yeah, you can't see. So there's a cloud pattern on here, like the wallpaper, and it like kind of twirls in as the screen loads. It's really nice. The screen is amazing. I'm sure the iPhone screen's fine. Anyway.
Wait, this side's dark. Why is that dark? Why is my life just in shambles? Why is Chromecast not working? Or Miracast? Well, this is as big as it's gonna get. Tell that to my wife too.
Thank you for saying what I was thinking. Look, you got to work with what you got.
Let me get the YouTubes pulled up. Are you ready?
Yeah, why not?
So, Paul, it has been 90 minutes since we last talked.
Yep. I miss you. How you been?
I almost killed myself.
Okay.
Really.
Wow.
Home improvement woes, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the new chimney crown put on. Wow. And not part of the agreement because I found them much cheaper than they wanted to charge me. The things that go on top of the chimney caps, they're usually like stainless steel, and they just screw right on top. They're in the very, very top. It kind of keeps the water from falling in.
Would you describe this as the tallest point of your house?
Yes, it would. Mm-hmm. So the Amazon box shows up, and I grab this thing, and I go up on the roof, and it's stainless steel, and I grabbed it the wrong way, and I took a chunk out of the finger. Like,
yeah.
I looked down, I'm like, that's gonna bleed. So now I have a Disney princess. I think this is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Wrapped very taut. I did clean it. Like I just ran water over it and cleaned.
I did something exactly like this with an Amazon package that I had a crazy hard time opening, and I took a divot out of my finger. Like not a cut, like an actual. I like cut a chunk off the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to type the letter J for a couple of days.
Yeah, fortunately this one's my middle one, so I can show you, Paul.
Right.
Can you see it, Paul?
Yeah. Thanks.
Is it better if I do it this way?
Got it. I see which finger it is.
Anyways, so earlier today, Mr. Walking Cat is doing what Mr. Walking Cat does before any Microsoft-related event, and he's ruining it to the best of his ability. And because Miracast broke, and I can't actually get my mouse up here to control it, I can't make these any larger, and actually they're pretty small to begin with, so it doesn't matter. But, Paul, these are wallpapers that he uncovered that everybody who's seen this is like, yeah, this is going to be the new theme when they unveil the hardware. And so, as we talked yesterday, there was poppy red, ice blue, sandstone. So I'm going to go with probably red. Maybe
red.
That's red too. But then we got maybe a sandstone and an ice blue. And,
those are the colors. All the colors of the Surface rainbow.
Yeah.
Poppy red, sandstone. What was the other one? Something blue.
And then there's another report out that just came out couple minutes ago from a foreign publication that says that they have seen the hardware themselves.
Ooh.
It says the Surface. So here's.
Just before you say anything,
Yeah.
this is a lot like movie spoilers, right? Some
Yeah.
people really
Yeah, I wanna hear
don't
this.
care. They want to know everything ahead of time. They're okay with it. Some other people like, don't tell me anything. I want to go in and see it fresh. So before you say this, if you're listening, you're a spoiler adverse person, stop listening.
Yeah. Or don't read my book because it's looking like it was accurate.
Right.
Which that came out almost a year
But
ago. Whoa.
the publication, so what did it say? Because I want to know
So
everything.
it says, and this is stuff Surface Pro 7 with a near borderless display and an ARM CPU, which is something we've talked about is happening.
Okay.
More than likely running the Excalibur chip, which I talked about way back in June.
Excalibur.
Yeah, that's the name of the SoC that Microsoft designed that has the Qualcomm chip. It's the circuit, the SoC.
So this is the 8CX based, not 850 something. This is
it should be 8CX would be that is my assumption.
Well, with the Pro name and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Borderless, near borderless display. Surface Pro 3 or Surface Laptop 3 without Alcantara carpet. We are going to move in. We're going from carpet. This year is going to be vinyl is final, and maybe next year we'll get to natural wood. But this year it looks like it's going to be. It's a flooring joke, folks.
I always figured that HP would get to natural wood first. What with their leather laptop from last year, but sure.
Yeah. So, but these are all things that we have been expecting. USB Type-C, no Thunderbolt. That's yeah.
I'm going to try to reconcile my own brain dysfunction with the USB-C thing, but it will probably be okay for most people. I think is how I would say that, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything across the board? They must be sticking with their Surface connector.
So
Right.
that is, I think it's got to be, because if they're not going,
I mean, this is the
Thunderbolt.
right.
it's got. I mean, there's not enough bandwidth in a standard Type-C connector to support everything that a Surface Connect can currently do.
Well, I'm not sure.
Well, maybe.
I mean, one 4K display at 60 hertz is certainly obviously capable over USB-C. I mean, the Surface Connector is fundamentally USB.
Yeah.
I don't mind that it exists. I don't mind that they're carrying it forward. I mean, I
Sure.
don't understand why they can't also do Thunderbolt
Yeah.
and have that option.
Yeah.
But
Like a transition period. That would be nice. It'd be helpful even.
yeah, yep, yep. Yeah, because you could make a Pro dock out of that. That could do two 4K displays.
The two 4K displays, although I got to tell you, I've only been running one 4K display. Now, that is with a gimumbus caveat other than this podcast box, which has 3 4K monitors attached to it.
Nice.
Well, it has to do all this. I mean, to be able to go like this. Wait, you got to have 3.
Sure.
Well, I guess you could technically have 2. But anyways, my production machine that I edit now on, I'm down to 1 4K, and I think it's okay.
Yeah, right. That's
It's a
what
27 inch.
Right. The use case of anyone who is not doing something very specific on a portable computer needing to run 2 external 4K displays at 60 hertz is very rare. I don't mean to say that it doesn't exist. Obviously, some developers, whatever, but yeah, and I think maybe that's the argument that Microsoft will make if they even. I don't think they'll explicitly discuss this on stage. Like Panos isn't going to walk out and defend USB-C, but he'll be asked.
Sure. And they'll have a canned answer.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's like, look, our customers, by and large, just don't need that.
Yeah. Although I say all this, and Paul, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're doing a lot of stuff around the house. We're doing a lot of stuff. New roof, going to finish the basement.
Yeah, it's come up.
We're probably maybe once, just here and there.
By the way, speaking of which, do you hear that sound? Do you hear it? It's nothing. There's no sound because the people who are destroying every single tree in my neighborhood have taken a break. They're at lunch. But they have today gone further down the property line. They're going to keep going until they hit the end. And then they're going to take a left. I walked out there this morning after 20 minutes of, that alarm sound like someone's broken into your house, your car.
Yeah.
I walked over there and I was like, is that you guys? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, make it stop. There's no one's breaking into your truck. Anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted you. You're getting a lot of construction work done. I'm sorry. I'm like having
where I was going with is my
flashback here.
upstairs office is going to move we're going to swap the bedrooms because the office I'm in now is a larger bedroom. My daughter will take that one and I'll take her bedroom, which is smaller eventually, probably sometime this winter, and I'll rearrange and reset up my office. And at that point I would have enough space for 2 4K monitors, which
Let me give you a little bit of advice on the bedroom thing. Yeah, I think you'll appreciate this.
Yeah, well, this is curious. Where's this going?
Yep. You should present this. Your daughter's getting a bigger bedroom. That's how that's going to work for her. Mm-hmm. You should present that as a Christmas present.
Oh, which
You
is
can have it all
convenient because
ready.
we spent all our money on furnaces and roofs.
Yeah. No, make it something special,
Yeah. Yeah, the thing I'm not looking forward to is it'll have to be painted. But,
Yeah.
Like,
That's
honestly
what I mean.
could
You
be
just have it ready to roll on Christmas Day.
Yeah, because usually, I don't know about anybody else, if they've never noticed that the tech blogosphere kind of grinds to a halt like that week before Christmas. A little bit.
It turns out there's a couple times a year it does that, but that is definitely. Yeah,
But today is not one of them. I'm trying to find the exact headline because this is actually a really big deal. Let me see if I can't.
What's the topic?
So there's a massive new jailbreak out for Apple.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, it doesn't impact the latest phones. If you have an A12 or an A13 processor, it doesn't impact it. But A11 all the way back to like the iPhone 4.
Yeah.
Using this exploit. The exploit has been uncovered and released for free. It's apparently in the boot
Nice.
ROM of the chip. And so the theory here is that this is not patchable by Apple because it's, I guess, a hardware level fault. I'm not trying to claim that I know all this, but this is what I have read from the guy who did it. He said that this is not patchable. And so what this is going to do is any phone up to, I believe, the iPhone X will be able to be jailbroken, and Apple very likely may not be able to patch it, and that community is going absolutely nuts because they are excited because this is a massive issue for Apple. Yeah, here we go. It says researcher claims he found a permanent unpatchable boot ROM exploit for iOS devices with A5 to A11 chips, enabling jailbreaks for iPhone 4S to X.
If this had happened to something other than Apple, I think the Apple community would have started a conspiracy theory that this was done on purpose to force people to upgrade to newer devices. But because it is an Apple device, I think we will probably not be hearing that story. But I'm just going to throw that out as a, here we are in this time when people are suddenly not upgrading so often. And, oh, look, here's a reason to upgrade for everybody.
Yeah, it's a good
interesting.
spin. It's a good spin. But that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Although, what's the impact to Apple really here? I mean, what if someone figures out a way to let you put icons where you want them on the screen, or
the theme, or
yeah, exactly.
sideload apps,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I still don't know why they don't allow theming. Like, they could put that in the store, charge 99 cents for a theme, allow you to download the icons, change them.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, well, I mentioned that icon thing on purpose because it's ridiculous.
Oh,
and
yeah, I
it's
agree.
something that should have been there in 2008. And it's just weird how they don't. How is this not on their radar? It has to be the number one request. Has to be.
Yeah. And to clarify, as Greg M points out, this is not a jailbreak. This is an exploit that will lead to a jailbreak.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, that's That's a big one. Unlike Apple adding Siri and Spotify integration finally, because that doesn't sound like oh crap, antitrust is coming down. Maybe we should support on us.
Yeah, just like the Amazon, like, hey, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make devices, but we're going to let people put any assistant on that they want.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure you want that. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
so
coming. It's going to be interesting. The TechCrunch wrote this up, and I know we've talked about this a lot of times, but I'll be curious to see if it ever happens. But they're saying now is the time for Apple to buy Sonos.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, obviously, there's been a cry for Apple to buy that company for a long time.
It fits their model perfectly to the T. Premium hardware, really loyal fan base.
I don't want this, and I don't think they would do it. But honestly, if they just bought that line and made that their smart speaker and just threw Siri on it, I think that's what a lot of those people just want. You know, those people. I mean, the Apple fans.
Honestly,
or
it's what I want. Like if let's just pretend that Apple did do that, I would switch our entire house over to Siri in a second.
Yeah, just right. Sure.
Not because
just for the
I think
seamless integration, and of course.
Not because I think it's superior to Google or whatever, but then I would only have one digital assistant in my life, Paul. I wouldn't have to deal with this crap.
But that is one version of superior, right? So when people talk about the power of the defaults and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of it's about lockout or whatever, lock in, I guess. Honestly, there is some advantage to something that just kind of is there and works, and it's going to be there. Like, it's just like, I mean, I go through a lot of convolutions in some ways to do certain things that I do with this speaker stuff that I have. And, so if you could just pick something up and it's just there, it's nice. I mean, it doesn't matter if Siri is plus or minus some percentage better or worse than anything else. Like, it's, it's integrated into the ecosystem. There's all kinds of Siri shortcuts and so forth, all these things that you get on iOS just because it's there.
Yep. I don't think they're going to do it. There's no rumors of them actually doing that, but it would be be smart.
Yep.
If only had the Apple had the money to do it.
Yeah. Right. No, I this makes them legit in that market immediately, and I feel like they kind of aren't with HomePod, and it's weird that this event just came and went without a smaller, cheaper HomePod.
Or any software update for it, any subwoofer, any there was nothing. There was
look, they have a good presence, honestly, in the smart home thing. This is the piece they kind of need, or something to get this stuff around the house. They need other things. It's weird. You look at what Amazon just announced.
They announced everything.
I know that Apple's not going to release 117 different things, but my God, have 3.
Yeah.
I mean, have some small number. It's weird.
Yeah, like the perfect thing to come out would be a sound bar with Apple TV built in.
Oh my God, of course.
I would buy one.
Of course. And then you can tack on 2 of those speakers and to get the full thing, the surround, whatever it is, Dolby Atmos, whatever. I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah. They could take more of my money, but they're way too slow. And I'm probably going to end up just buying Sonos stuff because I'm too deep into that bucket at this point. But
yeah, which is fine. I mean, that will work great.
Yeah, no. I know the experience will be great. It's just it's just expensive. I mean, that's the short of it.
This is like the conversation we had about Google and the smartwatch thing. It's like, look, start small, whatever. People are going to make fun of it. It's not as good, but you got to churn on this stuff. Like, you just got to get going on it. If you don't, you've given it up. And I kind of wonder what the point is anymore if all you're going to do is feebly follow whatever the market leader is and then never even try to catch up. Like, why bother? Like, why even bother?
Yeah.
Like, and for Apple, it's like, why have a speaker? Like, you're either doing this thing or you're not.
Yep.
And if you're not, by the way, there is a rich third-party ecosystem of it's a first-party ecosystem made up of third-party players who are adopting your whatever it's called, AirPlay standard, and providing this stuff themselves. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But you can't. To me, it seems like they're just kind of dicking around with it, and I don't quite get the point of it.
Curtis points out that there is a rumor that there will be another Apple event this year. They've had 2 last year, I think, like one in September and one in like late October. And Gardner Van Holt says, yeah, the remote for the Apple Home speaker bar thing would probably be a disaster because I cannot stand their current remote.
I know, it makes me crazy. Honestly, if they just changed that, I would just use Apple TV. If they just changed that one thing, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
And I know you can do third-party thing. I have one. It's just not as reliable.
The same.
Yeah.
Those remotes are optimized to fall into a seat cushion. That is what
oh my God.
That's
they
all
might
they
as well be
are.
coated with butter. They just, it's crazy. Yeah.
Well, my daughter knows how to use it, which is convenient, but
she probably is the only person we know whose hand's small enough to use it effectively.
Yeah, see, the biggest problem is like the fast forwarding of like a show or whatever.
It's the worst.
It is quite bad.
It's the worst. I think you're supposed to be able to swipe on it to do it. I find that to be
but
the
it
most
sort of works because it's like
so
you got to swipe
sort of
and then
click
hold.
on the side of it, and it goes forward in 10-second increments.
Mm-hmm.
It is the worst.
If only there were buttons, buttons.
No, the tree killers are back.
Go fight them.
I just want them to be done. I'm literally going insane.
Okay, maybe we can just sit here and slowly watch you.
It's like a torture thing. It's like beeping and sawing and just noise, and it just never stops. Well, it stopped for, apparently they take a 45-minute lunch. I don't know.
Trying to pull up something, but I don't know if it's actually going to work. No, because that's not working. Never mind. WinHack 2019 was apparently announced.
Yeah, I saw the
2020,
headline. Didn't look at it. Is it? I assume it's in like Shenzhen or something, or some crazy place.
That's exactly where it is. January 13th through the 14th, and it's in Taipei, the 17th through the 18th.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can't go to either one of those places. So I kind of like to, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not what it used to be, but I've always liked WinHack, and I wish it wasn't so remote. But.
Yeah, it's a journey.
Yeah.
It is a journey. And if you've got a Nintendo Switch, Ori and the Blind Forest is now available. That's a fun game. It's a little side-scrolling jumping shooter. Not really shooter so much, but I played quite a bit of that, actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty one, too.
Yeah, that it is. And then how is that 7T? So did you just get it today?
It just came today, yeah. So I'm writing up the first impressions, which I'll have out today. So this is I have one of the cases. One of the things I point out in this article I'm writing is, and unfortunately it's in the other room, so I can't show it to you here, but OnePlus always does an amazing job with the reviewer package that they send out. It's a ginormous box. This one, when you open it up, it kind of opens up like an origami kind of a thing. And they always put in a bunch of stuff. So they have like cases. They have everything you get at retail with the phone. And then in this case, they provided 3 cases. So these are the other 2. There's a blank or like a see-through one that comes with it. They provide what are these things called? Whatever these things are called. The headphones, the wireless earbuds. It has the faster new 30T charger, which is I think nice. 70%. I think it was in 30 minutes. It's crazy. They do a beautiful job with the reviewer's guide, which is printed, and they have a nice design thing they're following for this release that's on the web, and you see it in the book and everything. But it's just a tremendous package, and I would say 80+% of the time you get a review device in the mail. It comes in a piece of cardboard. You slit it open with a knife, and it comes flying out, and that's the whole thing. It's like these guys do a nice job, and the point of that is, it's like I got something nice because I'm a reviewer. It's people choose OnePlus for a reason, and they do a really good job with the community, and they do a really good job of responding to feedback. And I think this shows a kind of the level of quality and just comprehensiveness that they're shooting for, and it translates to the reviewer stuff as well. And so I think it puts you in the correct frame of mind for the product, but also for the company, And there is something special to what they're doing. If they would get the damn camera right, I would never not use these phones. The display is amazing.
Isn't that a 90 hertz display?
Yeah,
too?
90 hertz display. It's wonderful. So, and it's also actually this has a case on, so it's a little unfair here, but like compared to the its predecessor, well, the 7, you can see they're not very much different in size. And honestly, as far as the body goes, they're very, very close, and the screen size too. So, $600. This thing will be the equal or better of almost every Android and iPhone flagship in most categories for hundreds less.
Mhm.
And we'll see with the camera, because that's
but
you know, that's
the butt
that's
is the
gonna-
camera.
yeah, yep. So we'll see. There are some improvements. There's like a macro mode, and I guess you can literally get up to like, I don't know the exact distance, but it's some like centimeter and a half or something, and get pictures. And that's one thing I did use. I took a picture of a key on my keyboard with it, normal and then macro mode, and actually that is impressive. But as far as like actually taking photos, I've swapped over. I'm using it now with my Sims in there. I'll go out in the world with it when we go out tonight, whatever, and I'll we'll see. But I'm already kind of, flinchy about it, because I don't know. I'm worried it's not gonna live up to that. We'll see.
You got anything else for today, Mr. Paul?
No, that's the big thing for me today is the phone. So I'll be working on that, and then I have to do Ask Paul today. That'll be my afternoon right there, I think. How about you?
Well, I'm hoping my finger doesn't fall off, which it's not bleeding anymore, so I think it's fine. But it
It's
was
not
bleeding
anymore.
It
It's
was
a low bar.
Yeah, I mean,
It might be bleeding internally, Brad. I mean, who could
why you
say?
gotta scare me like that?
Sorry.
I don't know. I can still feel like it's not.
I
It's just a
can
nice
still
like.
feel.
Imagine a paper cut with stainless steel.
No,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, so we got that going on. We'll deal with that. I probably got to do some packing this week for next week.
Right? Yeah, you're going to be gone a long time next week.
Yeah, I mean, long enough. The biggest thing I got to do is I got to update the video editing software on this because it has not been updated since we went to Hawaii.
Oh boy, yikes! That's closing in on 2 years.
Yep, and I haven't opened the Adobe Premiere for obvious reasons because I don't feel like waiting 7 hours for it to update.
Yep.
But I suspect I'm going to have to do that. Otherwise, I'm going to have to be downloading it over hotel Wi-Fi, which is
Right.
not ideal.
I'm still thinking about which machine to bring. Probably going to be Surface Book 2. Or a little Chromebook, a little crappy Chromebook, just so I can screw with them a little bit. We'll see.
You should bring a Surface laptop is what you should bring so we can put it next to the new ones.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the newer one is really smudge-tastic, which I think explains why maybe they're getting rid of the carpet.
They're going to bring a shag carpet edition. It'll be great.
They always needed a Surface laptop. That's the thing. Like, we get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks exactly like an iPad, or a MacBook Air, rather.
Yeah, that's fine.
Everyone else does too. Like, I just feel like they were ashamed of it, and this was like, here's a differentiator. Like,
Yeah.
if only there was some way we could get like a type cover effect on a laptop. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell how it came about, but I don't mind it. But like, I think we've discussed this already. It should have been optional from day one.
Yep.
Yep.
So, all right, folks, so that wraps it up for today. You can check out the Surface wallpapers there if you really want to zoom in because I can't make them any bigger because of Miracast. But there you go, guys. That wraps it up for this week. We will be back next week. Slightly modified schedule next week because we're traveling, and then I'm taking Thursday off, so we'll be in and out. But we'll catch you here on Monday.
All right. Well,
Yep.
I'll be trying not to hear those fucking sounds for the rest of the day. But I'll be here. Bye.
All right. See you later.